What if I told you a single battle could destroy an entire kingdom in just 2 hours? That's exactly what happened at Mohacs, where thousands died, a king drowned, and Hungary's fate was sealed forever. Wars can last for years, even decades. But what if an entire kingdom collapsed in just 2 hours? That's exactly what happened at the Battle of Mohacs in 1526. A young king, outmatched and unprepared, faced off against one of the most powerful empires in history. What followed was not just a defeat, but a disaster so great that even today, Hungarians say, more was lost at Mohacs. But how did it happen? Why was Hungary so vulnerable? And what made this battle one of the most devastating in European history? To understand how Hungary ended up in such a disastrous battle, we need to look at what was happening before it. By the early 1500s, the Ottoman Empire was expanding aggressively. They had already taken over huge parts of the Balkans, and now their ruler, Suleiman the Magnificent, had his sights set on Hungary. His goal? Total domination of Central Europe. On the other side, Hungary was in trouble. Their king, Louis II, was only 20 years old, young, inexperienced, and leading a kingdom that was already divided and weak. The Hungarian nobility couldn't agree on anything. Some refused to fight, others argued over leadership, and as a result, the country was completely unprepared for what was coming. Then, in 1526, the warning signs became reality. Suleiman marched in with a massive army, heading straight for Hungary. King Louis, despite knowing he was outnumbered, gathered his forces and rushed to stop the Ottomans before they reached the capital. August 29, 1526. The battlefield was set. On one side, the Hungarian army, barely 25,000 to 40,000 men strong, tired, underprepared, but determined to defend their land. On the other side, the Ottoman Empire, with a massive force of up to 100,000 troops, including elite janissaries, heavy cavalry, and powerful artillery. Hungary was outnumbered, but they had no choice. They charged first, their cavalry storming into the Ottoman front lines. At first, it seemed to work. The Ottomans were pushed back. Hungarian soldiers saw a glimmer of hope. But it was all a trap. Suleiman had planned this. The moment Hungary committed to the attack, Ottoman cannons roared to life. Cannonballs ripped through the battlefield. The janissaries, some of the most well-trained soldiers in the world, counterattacked with deadly precision. Hungary's army collapsed within hours. There was no time to regroup, no chance to retreat. It was a massacre. Thousands of Hungarian soldiers fell where they stood. The once mighty kingdom was crumbling before their eyes. King Louis II tried to escape the chaos, but fate had other plans. As he fled, his horse stumbled in a muddy river, trapping him under its weight. Helpless and alone, the young king drowned, marking not just the end of his life, but the end of Hungary as an independent power. By sunset, it was over. The Ottomans stood victorious, Hungary lay in ruins, and the consequences would change the course of history forever. The battlefield of Mohacs was a nightmare. Over 15,000 Hungarian soldiers lay dead, their bodies scattered across the fields. The Ottoman army had won a crushing victory, but they weren't done yet. After the battle, Suleiman the Magnificent's forces marched forward, burning villages, capturing cities, and executing nobles. Hungary was in complete chaos. With King Louis II dead, there was no strong leader to hold the kingdom together. And without leadership, Hungary was torn apart. The Ottomans took over most of central Hungary, ruling it for nearly 150 years. Meanwhile, the Habsburgs, the powerful royal family of Austria, claimed the western part of the kingdom. What was once a united country was now split between two foreign powers. For Hungary, Mohacs wasn't just a military defeat, it was the beginning of centuries of struggle, occupation, and foreign rule. Even today, Hungarians still say, more was lost at Mohacs. a reminder of the day their kingdom was shattered in just 2 hours. The Battle of Mohacs wasn't just a defeat, it became a national tragedy. For Hungary, it marked the beginning of centuries of foreign rule, war, and division. What was once a strong kingdom was now a battleground for powerful empires. The Ottomans ruled central Hungary for nearly 150 years, reshaping its culture, economy, and cities. Meanwhile, the Habsburgs controlled the western part, bringing Hungary into the Austrian sphere of influence. It would take centuries before the country would regain its full independence. But Mohacs wasn't just a Hungarian tragedy. It was a turning point in European history. It showed just how powerful the Ottoman Empire had become, sending shockwaves across the continent. Other kingdoms realized they had to unite or risk suffering the same fate. Even today, the name Mohacs carries deep meaning. In Hungary, when something goes terribly wrong, people still say, "More was lost at Mohacs," a reminder of how quickly everything can fall apart. It was more than just a battle. It was the moment an entire kingdom was lost. The Battle of Mohacs wasn't just a war, it was a disaster that changed Hungary forever. In just 2 hours, a kingdom fell, a king died, and an empire rose to power. What followed was centuries of occupation, division, and struggle. Even today, its impact is still felt in Hungarian history and culture. But could Hungary have avoided this fate? Could better leadership or stronger alliances have changed the outcome? If you enjoyed this video, here's a quick task for you. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to tap the bell icon next to it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.